At the top of everybody's list when they come to Carlsbad is, of course, Carlsbad Caverns, and the only place in New Mexico that you can have lunch 752 feet below ground.
Hi, I'm Paula Bauer, Management Assistant at Carlsbad Caverns National Park. Welcome. We are glad to have you here. And this here is the natural entrance of Carlsbad Cavern. And this entrance has about 500,000 bats that fly out every summer night. And in the early 1900s, there was guano mining done here. And you know what guano mining is, right? Great fertilizer. Now, guano mining occurred for about 20 years, and then in 1923, this became a national monument under the name of Carlsbad Cave National Monument. It became Carlsbad Caverns National Park in 1930. While we're down in the cave, one thing that'll really amaze you is the immensity of it. It is a huge space, and it's like a hidden treasure down here. You walk around out here and you see all this desert cactus and everything, and it's hard to imagine these giant caves are in there. Huge holes in the ground, but very decorated. Of course, you have stalactites and stalagmites, beautiful draperies, and all kinds of wonders of nature right down here beneath our feet. The stalactites you can remember because they cling tightly to the ceiling, and stalagmites might one day reach the ceiling. In the cave, there are a few different places to go. There are a few different routes, and one of them is the natural entrance route, and you wind your way down a paved trail past Devil's Spring and the Devil's Armchair and the Witch's Finger until you get to the King's Palace area, which is a guided tour of the cave. The King's Palace are smaller rooms, but very decorated. It has the King's Palace, the Papoose Room, the Queen's Chamber, and the Green Lake Room on that guided tour. You can also go into the big room, which has ceilings of 220 feet and formations like the stalagmite, the giant dome, which is 60 feet high, and things hanging from the ceiling that might surprise you, like a lion's tail, which is a stalactite with a ball of popcorn on the end, or cave popcorn as it's called, that gives it kind of a look of a lion's tail. You know, people walking through the cave might be surprised at how big it is, but did you know it was getting smaller? It's filling in, very slowly, drip by drip. Water from the surface comes down through the rock, carrying a little bit of mineral called calcite, and over time that calcite builds up. Slow-moving drops dangle on the ceiling, leaving the mineral behind to lengthen those stalactites out. Faster-moving drops fall to the ground, and the calcite then builds up, making taller stalagmites. If you've visited Carlsbad Caverns in the past, you've probably been to the visitor center, but you won't recognize it if you haven't been here in the last year. In last fall of 2008, we dedicated our new visitor center, and it's been totally redesigned, and the layout is very different. You walk in, you can get information, your tickets, and head down into the cave. That all is the same. But we do have an art exhibit that we didn't have before. And the main feature of that are real prints made by Ansel Adams, who was here visiting in the cave in the early 1930s. There are a lot of things to do here at Carlsbad Caverns. In addition to seeing the cave, you can see the cave self-guided as you walk through on your own, or carry an audio guide and hear about the different geology, history, things like that. But there are also guided tours. The guided tours can include crawling tours if you want to get down and dirty and put that hard hat on and squirm through the rocks, or lantern tours where you can walk around with just candle lanterns, much like Jim White did in the early exploration of the cave. When visiting Carlsbad Caverns, there are a couple different ways you can go in. One is this natural entrance right behind me. You can walk down this route. It takes about an hour, it's about a mile, and you go down 800 feet, which is like descending 80 stories, and come up 40 to level out at the big room level. Now you can get directly to the big room also if you take the elevator. That's just a 1-minute ride. Now the elevator will take you directly to the underground rest area. From there you go around the big room. The big room route will take about an hour, hour and a half, and it's about a mile also. But you set that pace. Again, it's self-guided, so you can go as fast or as slow as you like. You're welcome to take photos as you go through the cave, but we ask that you only have water with you, no other food, drink, tobacco, and that you not touch the cave because it is a fragile area. Certainly walk along the trails, hold on to the handrails, but capture it just in your memories and in your photographs.
Well, this was my first trip to Carlsbad Caverns, and I can promise you it won't be my last. And I now understand why it's on the top of everybody's list when they come to visit Carlsbad.